Well, Tom Abell, top scoring with 64 today, but what's your assessment of that day's cricket?
I think honour's pretty even at the end of the day. They obviously made us work very hard for our runs. I think they were very disciplined sort of throughout the whole day, and we established partnerships, and then obviously one of us got out, so we never sort of probably quite got the momentum that we would have liked through the day, but obviously we've still got batting, obviously two good players in at the moment, and hopefully there's still a few runs to be had. I think there was a little bit in the wicket all through the day, and obviously we've got a brilliant attack. So, yeah, as I say, we've got a job to do in the morning with the bat, and then hopefully we can get to work with the ball.
You've got four batsmen who made good starts and didn't really go on. Tom Banton obviously still not out. Was that down to the quality of the bowling, or maybe a slightly unreliable pitch?
I think it's a really good pitch, to be honest. There's certainly runs to be had, and I think bowlers had to work for their rewards. Obviously, they're an incredibly disciplined attack, but yeah, the odd ball certainly does nip, and I certainly think you can create chances out there. I think there's good pace in the wicket. Obviously last week I think it was very attritional. Probably wasn't as much pace in the wicket. So yeah, I certainly think everyone's in the game, and obviously we'll get our turn with the ball tomorrow. But yeah, I think obviously we'd all like to sort of kick on, when we get ourselves in and get those sort of bigger, more telling scores. But it obviously wasn't meant to be for a couple of us today.
You looked as if you were having to work hard for your runs out there today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit of a struggle for a while, and we sort of, obviously when I went in, just tried to get a little partnership with Rui going, and he scored very freely initially, and it sort of took a bit of the pressure off and got us a little bit of momentum. So he played brilliantly well. But yeah, I think we obviously sort of lost wickets at slightly unfortunate times, just as we had that sort of partnership going. And yeah, look, it would have been nice to sort of try and take one of those partnerships on and really sort of press on at the back end of the day, but credit where credit's due. I thought they were brilliant and didn't make it easy for us.
We saw lots of spin today. Is there going to be anything in this pitch later on in the game for Jack Leach and Archie Vaughan?
Hopefully, obviously over the 4 days, I think the hope is that, it will deteriorate, and, the footmarks will probably become a little bit more prominent, and obviously, hopefully that'll aid our spinners throughout the game. But yeah, today it's been a pretty good surface. There wasn't a huge amount of spin there, so I certainly don't think it's it's definitely our day. But equally, I think we've got 275 on the board. We can be fairly happy tonight.
And finally, it's another game with the Kookaburra ball. Are you a fan of that? Does it actually make much difference as a batsman?
It's definitely a different game. Obviously, there's not as much swing for sure. But obviously, it depends on the pitch a little bit. I mean, today I think there was good pace and a little bit of nip, which kept the bowlers in the game. Obviously, last week it was very attritional for the seam bowlers. But yeah, it's a very different game with the Duke compared to the Kookaburra. I think
better or worse.
Depends what you like, really, doesn't it? I mean, I think personally, I feel like we have one of sort of the best first-class competitions, in my opinion. But that I think produces some brilliant games of cricket. But equally, I understand potentially what the ECB want to try and achieve. And I would say bowlers probably have to work a little bit harder. But again, probably the biggest thing is the pitches. If you get flat wickets, I think it can be very tough work with a Duke ball. But if there's a wicket with a little bit of movement in it, whether you use a Kookaburra or a Dukes, I think there's something in it for the bowlers.